do I have a million things to rant about, but I'm gonna rant about public schools today, because I don't like them. Now, there's a lot of problems with public schools, and I know not all public schools are like this, but the one that I specifically went to, I was singled out by teachers, just kids. I was bullied, like whatever, like I just didn't get my schoolwork done. I just didn't like fit in. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't feel accepted. Like, my principal kicked me out of football before I could even, football and wrestling actually, I should say that, because I couldn't do either one of those because my principal didn't want me to. Neither did my superintendent, and it has to be an agreement between principal, superintendent, and sport coach for if I get to play the sport. Well, I even did multiple workouts for the wrestling. I was actually very excited to do that, and my principal didn't let me do it. Neither did my superintendent, which I know not all kids have that problem, but since I've been going to an alternative school, it's like I've done all my schoolwork. I've gotten almost straight A's. I've like just excelled. I've gotten over 4 years of work done in like less than a year and a half. I've excelled so much. I can graduate when I'm 17. Not a lot of kids can actually say that, which is kind of my argument on why I like alternative schools a little bit more than public schools. But not everybody has that option, nor do they really like alternative schools, because I know alternative schools are for bad kids and they're delinquents, but not all kids are bad if they go there. Maybe they just didn't fit into the school that they were just at, or they got bullied, or they just didn't do all their classwork. Because my problem was I didn't fit in. I got bullied. I stood up for myself a lot. I got in a couple different fights, and I was failing all my classes in school because I just didn't feel like doing any of it, because every time I went to school, I just hated it. I hated my experience at school. I didn't like it at all. It was like miserable. But again, like, since I went to an alternative school, like, I've just wanted to go to another alternative school. Well, not another one, but I just wanted to go to school every day whenever I wake up. Like, I don't feel like it's such a struggle going to school anymore. I don't know. I just feel like you get a lot more freedom. And with that, like, if you're in a public school, how many times have you asked a teacher to go to the restroom and you weren't allowed? Probably a couple of different times. My alternative school, I'm allowed to go to the restroom as I please, and you just have to tell your teacher, but he don't tell you that you can't go to the restroom. It's just like, it don't happen. And then, like, another thing, like, if your like head is just like flustered and like you're just going through something like the night before and you just really don't feel like doing schoolwork that day, you go at your own pace. You're not in a class. Like, if you don't understand something, you can ask the teacher and he will tell you, but if you understand it, you can just go and get through that whole class. While somebody else might not be as far as you can get to the next class, but then, which is kind of why I'm excelling, because I was always caught up, which I understood everything I was taught in school. I just didn't do any of my homework. I didn't do any of my schoolwork. I just didn't enjoy it. We can go back to that, but I'm not going there right now. But since I went to alternative school, like, if I am struggling at home, I don't have to do work that day, and it's just a lot easier. And like, I don't know, that's just it. I've proved my point enough here, but obviously not everybody is going to want to go to an alternative school because they do fit into a public school and they are excelling, which I completely understand. If you're there and you're excelling, why would you change? I mean, obviously, you're doing well. Why would you change anything? I'm going to an alternative school. I feel like I'm doing well now, so I don't want to change anything there. That has been my argument. This is 4 minutes long in between my guidelines.